What is up, y'all? So, yeah, we got our first big frost this morning. Took some drone footage I'll show here now. But yeah, the question's always asked, does this agroforestry system and planting these tree lines help buffer a lot of the frost? And I will say definitely yes. You can see there's areas here around the farm that has frost laying in thick, and some areas that you don't even see any signs of it. Check this out. So it's mostly in areas where there's more exposure, that there's not a lot of trees. This is the peach orchard. I kind of expected the peach orchard is all the trees are dormant, so there's not a lot of leaves. We're still planting out our support species. They're still filling in. It'll probably be this time next year we'll actually have a full canopy. Yeah, I'm definitely happy and satisfied. Another thing too that we just did recently, we planted all these little food forest nests. I have a video coming out here soon on this, but I kind of want to walk through just to show you like the planting of it and how a lot of the frost kind of stayed on the edges. So as you can see, the frost literally stopped there, and I have a dip down to this inga beam with a bunch of supports. Same thing with this tree line. They literally stopped at the edge, or this food forest nest. They stopped on the edge here. And also I will say I did mulch with compost. So I think the mulching of the compost, so a little bit of the heat of the compost, and also that little bit of that brim. But yeah, you see all these little pockets in between here, especially the ones that are mounded a little bit higher, that has that nice nest and that dip towards the center, actually fared extremely well. Even some frost sensitive plants doesn't seem to be too affected, but we won't really see the full damage till everything fully defrosts and you kind of see in the afternoon. But yeah, another thing too, looking down this alley here where there's more supports and tree and there's more of that canopy, very light frost that made it towards the center. I bet you if I had a higher canopy set here, they probably would be no frost at all. Gonna walk towards the back to see how that system works or how that system held up. But yeah, so I gotta say, um, the the tree lines and the designs of them did exactly what they're supposed to do. I'm noticing too a lot of the Napier grass and the Mubasa definitely can take a light frost, so that's good to know. Especially if I had a couple people reach out even in the past few weeks inquiring how well they can take. Here we're now in the back system. Heavy layer of frost set in, right all on the edge there. It does look like we did get some pockets of frost in this tree line, settling on the bottom here and on these cowpeas. We'll see the real damage later today, but it looks like the mangoes held up. It's holding up. This is one thing that was rough because this whole system went down from the hurricane, and excuse me, and we had to do a heavy reset, and there wasn't enough time for it to really bounce back. So this has been one of my concerns going into this winter, not having a full canopy set in to protect our more cold sensitive crops like our mangoes back here. But we'll see how everything looks at the end of the day when it really defrosts, and you can kind of really see the frost damage here. But oh yeah, let's check this out. This is totally frozen. And that weed's going to be gone. But yeah, it's definitely more open here, so it's kind of expected for there to be more ice and cold air that's settled into here. So The temperature that I've read here on the farm is at, what was it, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Um, my app said that we got down to 40, but I never believed that. The farm where we're at is always much cooler. And yeah, and it always shows. Everybody I talk to around town, I was like, oh, did you get any frost? It's like, no, no frost at all. So, yeah, with all that being said, I'm very satisfied how all my agroforestry systems really held up and they're doing what they're supposed to do. And I'm seeing some flaws in areas that didn't have that big canopy set in, that the frost really settled in. And but that was kind of out of my control. We had a big hurricane that came through here and really knocked some stuff down. But walking to our main back system too, just double checking, like not a speckle of ice anywhere. I am curious to see, uh, yeah, there's not even a little speckle of frost anywhere settling in. Actually, I'll take it back. There is a little bit of frost towards the center line, but very subtle. Here we go. But this is an area of the food forest that's a little bit more open and exposed, and I don't have enough support trees right here, but you can see. But these are brassicas, so I'm not too concerned. And this is a cover crop that I dropped in the understory of the tree line. Let's walk towards the front of the market garden and just kind of assess things there. Right, so we're up here in the front of the market garden, or walking towards the front of the market garden. But yeah, this whole area, I don't see frost. I have this big canopy of a cypress, not cypress, a cedar tree here, with all the bananas planted here. It looks like I don't have any pockets of frost that came in. The big question, um, where I feel like the big test, is to see how some of these frost tender plants, like stuff in the nightshade family, took it, like the tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants. And what I'm seeing here now, and I'll flip this camera, a lot of dew set in, but no frost at all. So very happy this kind of held up really well here on these nightshades, these eggplants here. And then the next test too, haven't put up my plastic on the tunnels yet. And that's just because I've been waiting for hurricane season to end. And now since we're officially out of hurricane season, we plan on putting our tunnels. But we had one tunnel that survived the hurricane and that we let go. And we're actually been getting a tremendous amount of fruit sets, but it's been very slow for it to come on. But yeah, walking up towards it now, zero frost at all. So that probably has a lot to do with all these trees and this moringa. And let's see, it's a little wild and weedy in here, but we're getting close to harvesting. We just need a few hot sunny days and we're good. But a lot of dew set in, but no frost at all. And I also think too, like I said, by the afternoon, we'll really see what got damaged or not. And actually I could kind of tell and see that some of these bananas didn't like it at all. Like they just kind of get this very dark green that took a brunt of the cold. But that's fine. They're pretty resilient. They'll bounce back within the next couple of days, and it's like nothing's happened. Cut off those damaged leaves, which I won't even cut them off until they're like super brown. I'll do a light trimming, but I don't want to prune too much because then that defeats the purpose of trying to build that cushion to get through these cold nights. But yeah, this is our, we didn't get any frost last year. So it's kind of cool to get a little frost this year, and this is normal. Since I've been on this property since 2019, we had, what is it, 4 consecutive years of getting frost or yeah, 4 consecutive years, always getting frost, and especially around this time, early to mid-December, we always get a frost that comes through. And now, then last year, with El Nino being in full effect, we didn't get any frost. Even though it was pretty cool and wet last season, it never got cold enough for a frost. So it was kind of cool to see these more established systems kind of take a good little frost. But anyways, y'all, hope that was informative and you got something out of it. And yeah, I'm back on the kick of trying to post every single week. So if you like what you see and what you're hearing, go ahead and like and subscribe. And until then, we'll see y'all next time.